Hey everybody, XEI here. November channel update, 2.5 weeks late, but some stuff has happened, and so I wanted to kind of get it all into the same episode so that it all sort of made sense as to what was going on this month. So on the one side, the release schedule is based on a primary series and a secondary series, and I'm trying to block those off in my mind so that when I'm choosing the games I play in parallel, I know that one of them fits the primary mold, one of them fits the secondary mold. What that means is primary mold is for long form content, so stuff that's probably RP heavy, it's very story heavy, like long games, the games that if I go to howlongtobeat.com and it says something over, I don't know, 80 hours on a completist run, I generally add 20% to how long to beat, and that's usually closer to what I would take, and that sort of gives me my marker for how many episodes that thing will run. That allows me to focus on a primary series, which means at least 4 episodes a week. That's my minimum posting for a primary series, and for a secondary series, I'm hoping that that's at least 3 postings a week. But the thing with the secondary series is that if I fall behind on the primary series, the secondary series is the one that takes the hit. So there might be 2 postings a week. As you've seen in the last 3 weeks, 1 posting a week. Poor BioShock. I believe I've only done 1 posting a week since starting this. I think I've recorded 4 episodes and I started on the last week of October. And so the reason for that is the second thing I want to talk about on this vlog, something that happened at the beginning of November or the end of October. So the multiplayer game I'm playing on Angel Arts' channel for Borderlands, there's something that's happening in that game where about an hour and a half into Borderlands, my system completely chokes out. And I like the last time I played, I had to hard crash my system. Not hard crash the game, I couldn't even get out of the game, it was so bad. And so there was a memory leak issue with my system on Borderlands in particular, but I've noticed it on Mass Effect 2, I've noticed it on Dragon Age 2. Just sometimes when there's a lot on the screen, things would get choppy, and my frame rates per second were still fine. I had like 22 gigabytes of RAM in the system. It's an i7. It's a pretty solid gaming system, and so there was no reason why that was happening, but something's mangled on my Windows 10 that created a memory leak. And I was afraid to record primary and secondary games for too long because my fear would be that I would be 40 minutes into recording a Mass Effect episode and then my system would lock out like it did for Borderlands, or it would just crash. My system has, Windows has 4 shutdown applications because of trying to get memory back, and so it's shut down my recording stuff, for example. So that's why I did Torchlight. I did Torchlight as a buffer game, which is why you're seeing it more consistently on the channel. I basically cleared the game in 24 hours because I was doing a test on my system. I wanted to see how long I could push the system on one game to see if the memory leak would happen, and I was doing diagnostics as I played and stuff. I'm also afraid of recording a BioShock episode, feeling it stutter out, and then I'm afraid that it's just gonna have that memory seizure, and I lose all the recording and all the footage. So I had to be a little bit cautious in November. That's why you got the erratic schedule. In the second week, I got a lot of Mass Effects posts in because I did luck out. I played a very long session to try to do some load testing on my machine. Thankfully, everything went well. I didn't lose anything in Mass Effect, but I did get concerned. I froze even playing more Mass Effect until I resolved my system issues. What I ended up doing is I bought another 16 gigabytes of RAM, put in the system. I'm at 36 gigabytes. I'm going to do a test. I mean, the next Borderlands game is tomorrow. I will see if my system has a memory leak by the 1.5 hour mark. If it does, then I go into the next phase, which is something I don't want to think about, which is a reinstall of Windows 10. And as anybody in my situation would be afraid of, there's a lot of things I just have set up on the system. For me to redo a system at this point is going to be a lot of effort. Between the Steam libraries, the Origin libraries, my Dropbox syncing, my Google Drive syncing, like there's gigs and gigs and gigs of stuff that is going to have to get resynced onto a machine. All the setups are going to have to happen again. It's going to be a goddamn nightmare, and this channel will suffer if I have to go down that path. So I'm hoping I can buy myself time with the extra 16 gigabytes and things will go fine. So we'll see. I think things are fine. Diagnostically, everything seems fine. So I'm going to push forward with Mass Effect and BioShock. Like I said, Torchlight is all recorded, so that's not taking up any of my time. Pokemon trading card game occasionally will come out if I'm trying to kill time here and there. The second channel my personal channel, I am doing a Dragon Age, the first novel. I'm doing like a Let's Read sort of thing there where I'm analyzing the book as I go. I have a sort of plan for the execution of that, which I think is going to work, but even that's delayed because of course I had to deal with this diagnostic crap, so I couldn't get back to the novel. But anyways, that's going to continue on that channel. In particular, the novel stuff I think is going to be an interesting thing to explore for video game books in particular. So I'm doing Dragon Age now. I'm playing Mass Effect 2, and something like in the comments there was mentioned like something about Mass Effect Ascension, the novel, having to do with the biotic stuff and Jack and stuff, and I'm like, well, now I gotta read the Mass Effect book. So I have a feeling something's gonna go down on the personal channel that's more around that creative space. So anything to do with writing, reading, art, road trips, and stuff like that. In terms of the scheduling, I do hope that's gonna get fixed into December. I feel like everything is on a very smooth track now to become consistent on this channel, and it did take some exploration. Thank you for your patience as I worked through that in the last year and a half, 2 years for this channel. It has always been an exploratory experiment, at least at the start, and I'm now creating the foundation of something that I can sustain for myself in my life. I feel like this is the place where I gotta come when I have to escape from the everyday grind and stuff like that. This is where I want to come and spend my time and create value. Once again, this ended up going longer than anticipated. I'll cut around some of the fluff stuff and try to get this as succinct as possible. But thank you once again for your patience as I work through some stuff. And thanks for checking out the content. Thanks for leaving comments. And that's it. I'll catch you around. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire. Peace, everybody.